How is it going, everyone? In this video, I want to take a look at some of the big JRPGs coming to PlayStation 5 in 2026. Now, one thing to note is there is a little bit of contention on what is a JRPG, what isn't a JRPG. Look, in this video, I'm going to mention the Japanese-developed RPGs as well. There are a couple of games that are very much inspired by JRPGs as well, and while they're not done by a Japanese studio, I feel like they're going to be very relevant to you, and you're going to have interest in them, so I'll cover those games as well. And you know, we got some Souls-like action games being done by Japanese studios as well. There's gonna be debate on whether those are JRPGs or not. You know what, I'm just gonna try to mention the games that I think are gonna be very relevant to you. You might not have interest in all of the games I mentioned in this video, but I very well know you'll have interest in a lot of them. And as it is every year, I am recording this video on January 1st, 2026. There are gonna be a plethora of JRPGs that are gonna be announced later in the year and come out in the same year. There might be a game or two that ends up getting delayed, although I very much am confident all of these games are gonna come out this year. With that being said, let's get right into it, and let's kick things off with a game that I am so excited for, and that is The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales from Square Enix, from the creators of Octopath Traveler and Bravely Default. The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales is a stunning HD 2D visual RPG. You've got exciting action-adventure gameplay as well here, and it's gonna be something a lot of people will be excited for. A brand new action RPG from the creators of Octopath Traveler and Bravely Default. In a corner of a continent overrun with beast tribes, the kingdom is humanity's sole bastion, kept safe by a magic barrier. After the discovery of unknown ruins, the adventurer Elliot and his fairy sidekick Faye brave the dangers outside the kingdom on a journey spanning not only the continent, but its 1,000-year history. Open new paths as you explore the untamed continent and reveal the world's mysterious history. Enjoy intuitive and rewarding action-based battles with a healthy dose of strategic support abilities from a fairy. There is already a demo available, but it's only available on Nintendo Switch 2. The official release will be happening sometime in 2026. Next up, Persona has been one of the standard bearers for JRPGs, and 2026 will have the release of the Persona 4 remake, Persona 4 Revival. I know, a lot of us are waiting for Persona 6, and I do believe Persona 6 hopefully we'll get an official reveal by the end of this year, maybe a 2027 release for that. But for now, we do have the Persona 4 remake to be excited for, and Persona 4 Revival is going to be a game a lot of us enjoy. Look, they did a great job with the Persona 3 remake and Persona 3 Reload. Persona 4 is a fantastic game in its own right, and I know for those of us that had a PlayStation Vita, man, we sunk so much time onto Persona 4 Golden on the PS Vita, one of my fondest gaming memories as far as that's concerned, and now having that as a full-on remake, I know that P4G is already available on major platforms, but having a ground-up remake that's going to be more accessible to newcomers as well, it's gonna be great. We still don't know much about it. We only got a brief trailer, but it's gonna be one of the big titles of 2026. Persona 4 Revival should come out sometime this year. Next up, we have SacriFire, an upcoming RPG boasting a unique combat system, elaborate pixel art, and music by genre legend Motoi Sakuraba. Ezekiel Radan, a young priest, struggles to keep his faith as the world he loves is threatened by a war between gods and demons, and a new adventure will be kicking off. Very much a throwback visual style with dynamic battles, high-quality presentation, moral complexity, a tale of two worlds, elaborate gameplay systems, and original music and professional voice acting to boot as well. SacriFire is scheduled to come out sometime in Q1 of 2026. This is one that I could see getting pushed to later in the year, but at the very least should be out in 26. Next up, we have Edge of Memories, coming from Midgar Studio, the same studio that did do Edge of Eternity, which Edge of Eternity certainly had its issues, but now we have Edge of Memories, a new title by them, and hopefully they learn some things from Edge of Eternity. What we're seeing thus far of Edge of Memories looks quite good. The population of Avarice is ravaged by the corrosion, a terrible affliction that mutates all it infects into grotesque abominations. You play as Aline, a young nomad, and lead fierce battles alongside your allies to save the world from extinction. Love the visual style of the game. You've got intense real-time combat, engage in fierce battles against relentless enemies alongside your allies, and unleash your devastating powers to wipe them out. String together spectacular combos. Your allies are the key to victory. Let rage consume you as well. A gorgeous game from an art style standpoint. We'll see how this one turns out as Edge of Memories is dropping in 2026. Next up, we have a game that I have a lot of interest in, and that is coming from Game Freak. Yes, the developers that are best known for their work on the Pokemon titles, they are doing a brand new Souls-like action RPG in Beast of Reincarnation. Beast of Reincarnation is described as a one-person, one-dog action RPG. It follows Emma the Sealer, a young woman with blight powers who can manipulate plants to traverse and fight enemies. Her companion is a stray dog known as Ku, and they work together to free post-apocalyptic Japan from a corrupted creature that has blighted the natural world. The game's art style and story have been compared to Studio Ghibli works such as Princess Mononoke, and I think that's going to be right up the alley of a lot of you guys. The combat system itself obviously has been compared to other action RPGs such as Sekiro, Black Myth Wukong, Nier Automata, games of that ilk, and we'll see how this one turns out, man. It's definitely a different style of an experience from Game Freak, but it'll be coming to PlayStation 5 sometime in 26 and one to certainly have your eyes on. Next up, we have Fate Extra Record, the remake of Fate Extra, the first Fate series RPG originally released in 2010 for the PSP. Now, it's getting a full-on remake, revamped for modern hardware with an expanded scenario, refreshed character graphics, and dramatic command battles utilizing a highly strategic deck-building system. Fate is one of the most iconic Japanese IP at this point, and I feel like there is more and more interest that is building towards Fate from a video game standpoint as well. I loved Fate Samurai Remnant. I've talked up that game ad nauseum. Interested to see how Fate Extra Record is received. It was initially scheduled to come out in 2025, has been pushed to 2026, but should come out in the first half of the year. Another title to be on the lookout for there. Next up, we have a pretty interesting game here. Etrange Overlord will be dropping on March 26th of this year. Join Etrange on this musical odyssey as she seeks to conquer hell in the pursuit of living her best afterlife. A bit of a music rhythm thematic to it as well. Etrange von Rosenberg is falsely accused of assassinating the king and is executed. Waking up in hell, she decides she'll just have to take the whole place over. Experience this fronting action RPG from the creator of Disgaea and Rhapsody, a musical adventure. Take advantage of the unique revolving lane mechanic that sells items, buffs, and even characters circle around the map. You've even got a 2 to 4 player multiplayer component, and that's there as well. Throughout the game, you'll shoot, dodge, and slash your way across the battlefield in fast-paced action RPG gameplay. And it's a little bit of insanity. Living your best afterlife just because you're in hell doesn't mean you can't enjoy yourself. Follow Etrange as she tries to live her best life no matter the circumstances in a far-reaching story with plenty of laughs, plenty of heart, and plenty of musical numbers as well. Etrange Overlord will be dropping on March 26th. Next up, we have Mega Man the Star Force Legacy Collection. And it's the latest in the long line of Mega Man collections. We saw the release of the Mega Man Battle Network collection a couple years ago. Now we have the Nintendo DS titles that will be coming in the form of the Mega Man Star Force Legacy collection, including Star Force 1, Star Force 2, and Star Force 3, and the various versions of all of those games. Star Force, if you enjoyed Mega Man Battle Network, I feel like you'll enjoy Star Force as well. I always have a nostalgia bias towards Battle Network and Star Force. These are games that were a very big part of my childhood, and I am so excited to revisit these games. Look, I am also like a lot of other people where I've loved the Mega Man collections. I love that we'll have Battle Network. I love that we have Star Force. And those games are great. I would at some point like Capcom to pivot into doing new Mega Man games. I know they're gonna do Dual Override, but a new Battle Network, a new Star Force, I feel like there'd be a lot of interest in those, so hopefully that does come to fruition. If nothing else, we'll get the Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection, and that will be released on March 27th. Next up, another major remake. We've got Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, a remake of Dragon Quest VII. Unravel the mysteries of the past in Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Gather your companions and travel beyond the shores of your small kingdom to discover why it is the only remaining island in the world. Now, this is a game that is gonna be a remake of Dragon Quest VII, but at the same time, they are gonna adjust how the story is structured to make it a more accessible and digestible game. And hopefully that brings a newer audience to enjoy the game as well. It blends a beautiful diorama-style art style with Akira Toriyama's iconic character designs to make every encounter feel vibrant, heartfelt, and full of adventure. From lush forests and bustling towns to ancient ruins and whimsical monsters, every environment is bursting with color and personality. Travel through history to restore the present, a beloved tale with streamlined narrative, classic combat improved as well, moonlight and level up 2 vocations at the same time as well. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined will be releasing on February 5th. and it will be getting a bit of an earlier release with the Digital Deluxe Edition. Shout out to Square Enix for being the latest one to implement the fake early access gimmick. You'll be able to play it 2 days in advance if you do pick up the Digital Deluxe Edition. That'll be kicking off on February the 3rd. Next up, Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection is a game that I think a lot of you guys need to have on your radar. It does not matter whether you played Stories 1 and 2, it is very obvious that they are taking the Monster Hunter Stories franchise to the next level with Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection. Stories 1 and 2 were Nintendo 3DS and Nintendo Switch games respectively. This one is going to be available on all major platforms. The third entry in the Monster Hunter Stories RPG series is here. Twin Rathalos, born in a twist of fate, Monster Hunter Stories is an RPG series set in the Monster Hunter world where you can become a rider, raising and bonding with your favorite monsters. Love the visual style they've decided to go with Stories 3. Stories was never this franchise that is going for realistic graphics or anything like that, or blow away technical presentation, but the art direction in this one I think looks fantastic. And it's shaping up to be a quality RPG. Hopefully this one does well, as it is going to be dropping on all major platforms. But even if you're not a big Monster Hunter guy, man, as just a creature collecting JRPG, I think it's one that a lot of people are going to be able to sink their teeth into. Monster Hunter Stories 3 drops on March 13th. Next up, we have Code Vein 2, yet another Souls-like action RPG. This one very much with that anime aesthetic and a narrative emphasis that I do think is going to be up the alley of a lot of hardcore JRPG fans. Code Vein 2 features a deep narrative where players and characters are bound by blood, fate, and destiny set in a future where the last remnants of humanity and revenants struggle against a world on the verge of collapse. You will be able to play Code Vein 2 without playing the original. It is a Souls-like action RPG. One of the elements that sets Code Vein apart is the partner system, where you do have a partner alongside you, and you have a variety of them, and how they're utilized in battle adds another layer to the strategy of the game. Obviously, you'll be able to go on the route of different builds, and how you tackle the game will very much be up to you. Love the character designs of the game, of what we've seen thus far. Code Vein 2 will be dropping on January the 30th. Next up, we gotta cover both Legend of Heroes titles. If you guys are familiar with this channel, you know I am a Legend of Heroes fanboy. I've been talking up these games for eon. Come January the 15th, we will be getting the latest mainline title over here stateside in the Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the Horizon. Look, Trails Beyond the Horizon, if you're picking it up, you gotta be caught up with Legend of Heroes. You do not jump into Trails Beyond the Horizon. At the very least, you should play Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak and Trails Through Daybreak 2, as those are the first two games of the Calvard arc. At this point, if you're trying to just get into the series, Sky First Chapter is where you should go, but as somebody that's caught up with the franchise and I'm playing every single game as they're coming out, I could not be more excited for Trails Beyond the Horizon, man. I liked Daybreak 2, however, Daybreak 2 was very much a bit of a filler game, and that was a bummer because I absolutely love Daybreak 1. I love Van as a character. I think the cast in Daybreak has been fantastic, and the cast in this Calvard arc has been great, and Trails Beyond the Horizon, we are getting to the pinnacle of the Calvard story, so this is going to be a big one dropping over here stateside. It's been available for a little bit over in Japan, but finally we'll get it over here in the States, and that'll be dropping on January the 15th. And then also, 2026 is going to be a big year for Legend of Heroes fans, as we will have Trails in the Sky second chapter. Trails in the Sky second chapter is where the Sky trilogy really gets going as well. Sky First Chapter was a fantastic game, but it was really setting the table for us to get into the core of the story in Trails in the Sky second chapter, and obviously play Sky First Chapter. The game ends in a big way where you'll be very excited for Sky second chapter, but I know a lot of you guys either have yet to start Sky First Chapter, or you're still working your way through them. They're long games, but Sky Second Chapter will be a big title as well. We don't have an official release date for Sky Second Chapter, but I would imagine it's going to be in the latter portion of the year, potentially September, given that that's when Sky First Chapter came out, and it will be a global release, much like Sky First Chapter, so that's great as well. Next up, we have Tales of Berseria Remastered. Now, we can argue all day whether or not Tales of Berseria really needs a remaster. Regardless, Tales of Berseria is a fantastic game. It's one of the best Tales of titles. I would put it right alongside the Tales of Abysses of the world. I think Berseria is fantastic, a bit of a darker narrative, a fantastic main character in Velvet, and I'm very much looking forward to going back and playing Tales of Berseria with the remastered release. That'll be out on February 27th, and if you're getting into Tales of, Berseria is not a bad one to start off with. Usually I recommend Arise just because from a visual standpoint, that one is definitely on another level, but narratively, I certainly put Berseria above Arise. February 27th for Berseria Remastered. Next up, we have Ys 10 Proud Nordics. Now, I know a lot of people have their opinions on how Ys 10's release was handled, and I'm totally right there with you. It really felt like Ys 10 came out, a lot of people spent $60 on the game, and now we're just getting an upgraded release so quickly thereafter, where you could have made the argument they knew that they were going to do this Proud Nordics release. Why not let people know? I'll tell you why, because they wanted to sell Ys 10, and then they wanted to sell Ys 10 again in Proud Nordics. Ys 10 is a great game. The Ys franchise, in my opinion, is one of the most consistent JRPG franchises, but it would be absolutely foolish if you don't call out how this game's release was handled. Still, if you have yet to play Ys 10, this is certainly the version to pick up in Proud Nordics, and that'll be out on February the 20th. Next up, Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma will finally be out on PlayStation 5 on February the 13th. This has been received very, very well on PC and Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, and now it'll finally be coming to PlayStation 5. Welcome to the Eastern Nation of Azuma. In this fresh take on Rune Factory, use your powers as an Earth Dancer to restore the land, its people, and even its gods. Along the way, battle corrupted monsters, rebuild seasonal farms and villages, and form bonds with the colorful locals. This is said to be a more accessible Rune Factory title, and Guardians of Azuma will be dropping on PlayStation 5 on February the 13th. And then finally, we do have Nioh 3. This is going to be a brutally difficult Souls-like action RPG. As somebody that got absolutely obliterated in Nioh 1 and 2, I can't even say I am that excited for Nioh 3. Look, I love Nioh from an aesthetic standpoint. I think the dark samurai aesthetic looks phenomenal. And Nioh 1 and 2 were incredibly well received, but I just know I'm gonna get absolutely obliterated in the game. You've got open field locations filled with a sense of tension characteristics of the Nioh series, while also allowing you to explore to your heart's content. A dark samurai world where you'll encounter a formidable yokai, explore menacing villages where darkness lurks, and struggle against the ominous presence of the Crucible. You've got samurai and ninja combat style, so that'll add a layer to the options in gameplay. You can enjoy an instantaneous and seamless switch between two combat styles during battle, facing your enemies head-on with samurai style and using quick movements and special techniques with ninja style. Utilizing both of them when required is going to be a big aspect of the game, and Nioh 3 will be dropping on February 5th. So in the span of a week, you will have both Code Vein 2 and Nioh 3 dropping. Definitely not a shortage for Souls-like action RPGs, but that is going to do it for me. Again, beyond all of these, there are going to be a plethora of more PlayStation 5 JRPGs, and if you want to open it up to all platforms, you've got Fire Emblem coming out as well on Nintendo Switch 2. That will obviously be a Switch 2 exclusive, but there should be a lot of big JRPGs coming out in 2026. I feel like the genre has never been healthier, and there are multiple IPs that are getting bigger and bigger. Persona has gotten exponentially bigger. Tales of it has been getting a lot of momentum. I would like to see you know, an original new Tales of release, but at the very least, we have these remasters coming out. New platforms are getting the games. Ys has been consistently getting releases over here stateside. Legend of Heroes has been growing and growing. Code Vein has been a standout. There's a lot to sink your teeth into, and sure, maybe we don't have a Final Fantasy game confirmed, or we don't have something of a megaton like a Persona 6 would be, but there's certainly a lot to sink your teeth into. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.